So we just want you, if you would, to go through basically as much detail as you can, everything you remember about what happened this evening, what led up to you calling the police, and just the whole story. So if you would just start at the beginning.
Okay. So around 9 o'clock, I was coming back home from my boyfriend's apartment, parked my car in the basement garage beneath the apartment building, came upstairs, went through that door that was pointed out, felt some resistance. Usually that means there's a package that's left there. So I didn't think anything of it until I saw a woman literally like sitting in the corner with her arms crossed. And so that was unusual. So I got a good look at her, and she was wearing a blue like hospital pajama top, like the kind that you see at the VA or in psych units that like snap up the front, and red plaid pajama pants. She was black, in her 20s, had braids, and I noticed that her wrist was bleeding, not like profusely, just like injured, like she had been scratched or something. So a very unnerving situation. So I knelt down next to her and I was like, "Are you okay? Like, do you need help? What's your name?" And just like tried to like figure out what was going on, why she was there. And then she snapped, and that's when I noticed that there had been an orange metal pole leaning up against her. So she grabbed it and she started hitting me in the head with it and called me a bitch and some other things that I don't remember. So I don't know how many times she hit me, but at one point I was able to grab the pole and hold it. And that's when I was able to kind of push her back out the front door. And then she sort of stumbled backwards and like just like fell down the stairs right there, and that gave me time to get through both doors, like the locked door, to safety. And I had been screaming the whole time because this is terrifying. And my neighbor Alex, who's also in medical school with me, had heard me screaming, and he came out. And I told him to call 911. And we saw her walk away from the apartment building down towards Tosa Village. And that's pretty much the whole story that I remember. It happened very quickly, and it was scary. But she seemed as though she was going through a psychotic episode, is how I would describe it. She was not herself, whoever that person is.
Why do you say that?
Just because she didn't answer any of the questions that I was asking her. She wasn't looking me in the eye. She looked injured, and just like the way she was dressed, because like I said, you only wear those tops if you're in the hospital.
Okay.
I just did my rotation at the VA, and a lot of our patients just wear those instead of hospital gowns. But a lot of the things she was saying, I don't even recall what she was saying other than profanity. It didn't make sense. There was no reason for her to get agitated with me and start abusing me. So
you said the first place she hit you was the head?
I think so.
Okay. How many times do you think you were hit?
I can only feel like 2 bumps on my head. So they're small. I'm not concerned about them. And then I have a bump on my arm too, and some scratches.
Okay. So
at least 3 or 4 times.
You said it was a pole
Yeah.
that she was hitting you with. Can you describe it, or what was it like?
It was like maybe this long. It was orange, kind of like that construction color. It was metal. It was probably this thick in diameter. I don't know how to describe that in inches or.
And when you're holding out your hands like this, I'm saying maybe 3-4 feet, somewhere in that range.
Yeah, 3 feet would probably be a good estimate of how long it was.
In terms of diameter, it looked like you were pretty small, like smaller than a dime, or
Yes,
about a dime.
Smaller than a dime.
And you said it was metal. Do you know, did it have flex to it, or was it?
I would say it had some flex to it, but it was still stiff enough to hurt a lot.
Sure. And that was leaning against her when she was kneeling down or sitting on the ground?
It was leaning against the brick wall that was behind her.
Okay, but in the vestibule area?
Yeah, in the area.
Okay.
I didn't notice it until she picked it up, honestly.
So, and I'm just going to go through the whole thing and just kind of ask little questions just to fill in details, okay? So you said you came home around 9, you went in through the basement garage, so I assume you pull in through the parking lot and you park in the garage. Is there like a back entrance there, or is that the middle entrance?
So like the big garage door that you see in the front, you
Right.
go down through there. That's the
Okay.
only entrance into the garage
Okay.
for a car. There are 2 doors in the garage. There's one that's sort of goes to the middle of the apartment complex, but I usually take the front one because it's close to my apartment.
And when you go up that stairway, it takes you right into the front entranceway? Okay. So you come up there and you see her, she's sitting in the vestibule area, and just so I can understand, the first door is not locked, so she's able to come inside that through the first door without any problem?
Right, and that's normal.
But then the second, the other doors inside, both into the apartment building and down to the parking garage, those are both locked?
Yes.
Okay. So she couldn't go anywhere else other than in that general vestibule entrance?
Mhm.
Okay. And I know you gave me a pretty good description here. You said she was wearing a blue hospital pajama top and some red plaid pajama short or pants.
Mhm.
And you said she was a black female in her 20s with braids. If you had to guess a height and weight on her, what would you say?
She was shorter than I was, I think. Maybe 5'4", 5'5". I'm really bad at estimating those kinds of things. She was thin. She was not large at all. Maybe 120 pounds at the most.
And other than the pajama top and the pajama pants, did she have any other clothing, a jacket, or
No, I didn't see any other clothing.
did you notice her shoes? Was she wearing?
I didn't notice shoes, I'm sorry.
Is there anything else about her appearance that you could describe? Perhaps you said braids. Was it a lot of braids? Or?
No, it was just like 2 like Dutch braids like this.
Okay.
They were not long. I think they stopped at the base of her head.
Okay. How would you describe her skin tone?
I mean, well, I would say she's kind of like not super dark, but not light skinned. So like,
Okay. Medium to dark? Is that fair, a medium complexion, or?
yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that's a good description.
And then you mentioned that she had a scratch of some sort on one of her wrists. Do you know which wrist it was?
It was the right wrist that I noticed.
Did you notice any other injuries on her?
No.
And when you first came in, you said you knelt down and you were asking her if she was okay and what her name was. Did she ever give you a name?
No, she didn't respond to any of my questions.
Okay. And you said at some point she was calling you a bitch. Do you remember any of the other words she used?
No. No, I don't remember any of the other words. This was all while she was attacking me, so I was screaming and not listening.
Right. And so when she was, I know it's probably a little difficult to recall every detail, I understand. But do you know if she was striking you with the pole, did she have it in one hand or did she have it in two hands? And how would you describe the manner in which she was hitting you with it? Was she, like coming over her head or like a baseball bat?
I think both. It was over and like a baseball bat.
And you estimated that she hit you 3 to 4 times at least?
Yeah.
Okay. And did it hurt when she hit you?
Yes.
I know it seems like a silly question, but it's one of those questions we just have to ask.
I mean, I think the adrenaline probably helped a little bit with whatever pain. Like, I'm still not feeling pain right now. I took some Advil, but...
Okay. And you said you had 2 bumps on your head. Could you just kind of describe to me where on your head?
The first one is like on the right side, towards the middle suture line. It's like, I feel like it's actually gone down now, but it's like maybe 4 centimeters in diameter. I looked at it in the mirror, it didn't have any redness or anything.
Okay.
And then the other one is on the left temple. I would say it's about the same size, like 3 to 4 centimeters. It did have some like skin damage when I looked at that one.
Okay.
Just like a little bit of redness and skin break off. But nothing too concerning.
Okay. And then you also said you had something on your arm?
Yeah.
Okay, the redness here.
Yeah.
Is this some swelling there, or?
Yes,
Okay.
so that is another welt. And then I had a little bit of a cut on my pointer finger on my right hand in the knuckle area. So that's it.
So can I see your left arm again? How would you describe the redness?
I guess maybe she scratched me. I don't know how else
Okay.
that would have happened.
Do you recall if she touched you with her hands at all, or?
I don't.
Okay. Okay. We're going to snap a couple photographs of that before we leave. How does it feel right now?
I feel okay.
Do you feel any soreness in any of those areas where you were hit?
If I touch them, yes, but nothing that's totally bothering me if I leave it alone.
Is there anything that you're going to want medical attention for?
No. They're gonna do exactly what I did for myself.
Yeah, you're trained, right?
Yeah.
All right, and then you said at some point you were able to grab the pole. Is that while she was actively striking you with it?
Yes.
So when she was striking you, you were able to grab it and kind of push her out the front door?
Mm-hmm.
Did you use a hand to push her?
No, I just had both hands on the pole and eventually let go, and that's when she stumbled backwards.
Okay, so you grabbed the pole and she just kind of was there a fight over the pole itself?
Yes.
Okay. But you're still inside the vestibule at this time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't leave the vestibule.
Okay. So she let go in the struggle for the pole and stumbled backwards. Did she stumble out the door, or did you have to kind of like push her out the door?
She stumbled out herself. I didn't push her. I don't think I did, but yeah.
And then you also said that she fell down the steps. Did she actually fall to the ground?
Yeah, she fell backwards.
Okay. And did she land on the steps themselves when she fell, or did she land like lower down on the sidewalk?
She landed in the middle of the steps, yeah.
And at that point, that's about the time you were able to get inside?
Yeah, they gave me enough time to get my keys and unlock the door and get inside.
And you said someone else who lives there, you said Alex,
Mm-hmm.
he heard you yelling. Did he come out to see what was going on?
Yes.
Okay. And you told him what was going on and he called 911? Did you ever talk to 911 or did just he?
He talked to 911.
he go out, did you guys both go outside to see where she had went? Or did you see that from inside?
We watched her from inside until she left the view of the window. And then when we saw like 8 cop cars go down the road, eventually we kind of looked over to see sort of what happened.
Okay. How long would you say it was between the time that she went out of view and you saw the cop cars?
2-3 minutes. I would say the response time was pretty fast.
Okay. And I know you said 8, was that, or do you know how many you actually saw?
It was a lot.
Were they responding like with their red lights and sirens on?
Mm-hmm. And they were all going in that direction, so.
And just going over the details you mentioned about her, you said that it appeared to you that she was going through a psychotic episode. She didn't answer any of your questions, and she didn't look you in the eye.
Mm-hmm.
And then the injury to the wrist stood out to you, and the way she was dressed. Did she seem like she could be under the influence of any alcohol or drugs, or?
No, I mean, I spent, I had a month-long rotation in psych, so I can pretty easily pick up when someone is going through either a manic or psychotic episode. I don't think she was under the influence of anything. I wasn't able to smell anything on her. Like her pupils didn't look specifically like dilated or constricted. But that's just for like face value, because obviously I didn't do like
Right.
a thorough exam.
Right.
And I may have missed this, the pole, where did that go?
She took it with her when she fell, and I don't know if she took it with her when she walked away or if she left it behind. I'm assuming she took it with her if she hit other people with it.
Okay. And do you know if Alex talked to any officers?
He was there with me when I talked to both of them.
Okay.
What apartment is Alex in?
He's on the first floor, and the one to the right, I can't remember which number that is.
Do you know his last name?
Shoot. It's on my phone.
Okay. I guess if you have his phone number, I'll take that too then.
Yeah. I don't even have his last name in there.
Oh,
The
okay.
worst.
I'll take the phone number then.
Shoot,
We
what's
can
his last
figure out
name?
who he is from there. Thank you.
Mhm.
And is this a woman you've ever seen before?
No.
Complete stranger to you? And not somebody who seemed like they had any business at your building?
No.
You said none of what she said made sense, but you couldn't recall exactly what it was that she was saying. Was she making like noises, or was she actually using words?
Probably both. It's hard to recall.
Okay,
I don't want to
that's
tell
fine.
you something
Yeah,
that's not right.
That's fine. were yelling, were you yelling like anything in particular? Were you yelling for help, or were you just kind of screaming in general, like in panic?
I was screaming and yelling for help.
Okay, so you're both.
What I will do, if you don't mind, just so that we know who we're taking the picture of, I'll just take an overall picture, and that way we can say that arm belongs to you, so that there's no question on whose it is.
Yeah.
Perfect. You can sit back down and then we'll snap some pictures. The arm certainly was noticeable as you held it up. If you want to wear your mask again, that's fine. I could see the swelling up against the blue. Would you mind just holding that somewhere on there?
Did you get this side too? Because there's a scratch on this side as well.
And then on your head, do you think anything is visible? I know you said the left side, maybe the...
I don't know if you see anything.
Oh, yeah.
I can see it.
Okay. Do you want to actually hold that up and I'll just snap one up there also. And then, do you think there was anything on the other side?
You can try to look. I had a hard time finding an actual thing. I can feel it, but it's not super prominent. Yeah, I don't think you can see this one.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I just want to get the best angle. I'll have you turn it again that way, sit back here. Yep, sit back, your hand is, nope, other way. There you go.
Which way?
Right. Like
Oh,
that.
yeah, that swelling is really standing
Yeah.
out. I'm not a doctor, but you want to put some ice on that.
I just want to go to bed. I'll feel it tomorrow, probably.
Yeah.
Let me quick download these.
Did you have one little scratch on your finger here too?
Yeah, I mean, I don't,
Pretty tiny,
it's
but
really tiny.
all right. I would say, I'm sorry that this happened to you. I mean, you've been there for almost 3 years and, or over 2 years, and unfortunately, strange things like this do happen from time to time, but it's not the norm. So, sorry you had to go through this experience and come to the police station tonight, but we do appreciate that you're willing to come here and talk to us and tell us everything that happened, because it's important to get the complete statement on everything and document all these details. I don't think I have anything else, but I'm just going to go over this here and make sure I'm not missing anything. You did say she was in her 20s, but would you be able to narrow down the age at all?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I have a hard time differentiating between like 18 and 30 sometimes.
Okay. So you're not the best judge of age?
No.
That's okay. The scratch you noticed on her wrist, do you know which side or like where on her wrist it was?
It would have been kind of around, so like on her extensor surface for sure, but also a little bit on the flexor. And it looked like, it kind of looked like nails were dug in, like fingernails were dug into hers. I don't know if it was self-inflicted or if
Okay.
it was an injury from someone else.
Okay. And you say it looked like it was going around, so like,
It was like fingernail moon-like scratches.
I gotcha.
Like someone dug their nails into there.
Okay. I don't think I have any other questions.
No.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's get you back home then.